All eyes on Atlanta Friday night as Oregon and Indiana play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We are all looking forward to the game. And I'm happy to be joined this morning by a couple of our colleagues out of Indianapolis at our sister station, WTHR. We got Dominic and Eli. Hey, guys, and welcome to balmy Georgia in January. How you doing?
How's 70 degrees for a college football playoff semifinal? We're pumped up to be here. It's been all sorts of fun covering IU and Atlanta, a great host city, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And we kind of go back to last week. Feels like we haven't seen the sun in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Going back to Indianapolis, and then even in Pasadena last week, where it rained 2 times in the entire year, it seems. So we got stuck under that. But yeah, excited to get here, boots on the ground in Atlanta, and ready for hopefully an exciting game Friday night.
No doubt.
We're happy to give you the sun because you have given us an incredible story this year with Indiana. Heisman Trophy winner, won the Big Ten. They're undefeated, #1 team in the country, beat Alabama by 35 points in the Rose Bowl, and now they're favorites to win the national championship. I mean, if I had told you all that at the start of the season, what would you have told me?
And make one hell of a movie.
Yeah.
Just like Kurt Signetti said after winning the Rose Bowl, just as we all expected, right? IU to be unbeaten and be here at this point in the season. I think we all were really happy about what happened a year ago, but I think we would be guilty of it too, saying that it was just a fluke or maybe prove it again, and they've done nothing but do that this entire season. It's been a joy to watch and so much fun to cover.
Yeah, how Kurt Signetti has coached this team and turned it around needs to be studied.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, this is something we have never seen before. And kind of echoing what Dom said, you look back at last year, the great story, the feel-good story of the college football season, but then to take it to another level this year and not only prove the nation wrong in how it thought of this program, but overdid everything.
Yeah.
And then you go back to, which is going to be a rematch Friday, that win in Eugene against Oregon earlier this year was when it was really put on the map that IU is for real, and they've proven it ever since, imposing their will on just about every opponent they faced this year.
I think that's what's so impressive is the way they're winning. Not just that they're winning, but they're taking their opponent's will. They're wanting to do the exact same thing here on Friday night.
Yeah, so how can they get it done? I mean, let's talk about this game specifically. #1 versus #5. You're favored by about a field goal, I think is the latest I've seen. What are the keys to winning that game?
Well, I'll say this. Echoing what Eli said, that was the game. On the road, in Eugene, a place that's really difficult to win, where IU burst onto the scene yet again. If you weren't a believer before, you were a believer after that game, and they'd have done nothing but outdo themselves every point following that win in Eugene. Comes down to trench play. We've been talking about it throughout this season, throughout these playoffs, the Big Ten championship, offensive line and defensive line. It feels like Indiana dominates that part of the game with everybody they play. They ran the ball at will against Alabama. They held Alabama to under 30 rushing yards. So you're going to win a lot of games when you do that. Oregon, obviously, a very good team. Just one loss to Indiana on the year. It's a Big Ten battle, a good old-fashioned Big Ten battle. Oregon and IU, right? It'll be a lot of fun, but I think if you dominate the trenches, you win this game.
Yeah, I think it is too. So Indiana has just played their brand of football the entire year. That's what Signetti, that's what these players have harped on the entire time. They have they have experienced players. A lot of starters that have played at least 25 games in their collegiate careers. Doesn't matter what level it's at, but they're experienced players and they play their way, and controlling their line of scrimmage is the biggest thing. Also, the biggest thing, limiting turnovers and forcing takeaways has been the bread and butter for this Indiana team this year. They lead the country in turnover margin. They do things right. They don't make mistakes.
Right.
We're yet to see it this year. Now, they've had some close games. You go back to the Big Ten championship game, but they're able to find ways to get it done. And that's kind of just what you anticipate at this point come Friday night.
When you ask us what the key is to winning, and we both don't mention the Heisman winning quarterback,
that's crazy.
That's how you know a team does a lot of things very, very well. So IU, that's what's got them here.
And it's been built by a heck of a coach. What's it like being around and covering Kirk Signetti? I mean, I think back to that clip where Indiana defeats Ohio State to win the Big Ten championship, and he is just stone-faced. Is he like that all the time? Is he just laser focused behind the scenes too?
It's been interesting following him these past 2 years because he's even admitted last year he wanted to say some outlandish things to get this fan base, get this university and this football program thinking in different ways, thinking they could do this and that this was possible. He's kind of tapered off a little this year, but I will say, yes, he's laser focused all the time. Eli was there every single Monday morning following a win. You saw all of his press conferences.
Yes.
What was he like here too?
He's a psycho in a good way. He's a football guy. He enjoys getting into the film room and breaking down film. I think it was last week he went back and watched a game that happened back in week 3 between two teams that he wasn't even a part of this season. So he's addicted to being in the film room. The one-liners that he has are to be noted, right? He's made national spotlight with some of those lines that he said throughout his tenure here at Indiana. And yes, he's as stone-faced as you can imagine, and he likes to give a little wink and a smirk every now and then talking about this program and what they've accomplished. But yeah, fantastic coach. Who would have thought 2 years ago when Indiana hires Signetti as a 62-year-old second-time head coach coming over from James Madison, that they would lead to this. He's represented the program and the community of Bloomington very well like it as well.
Yeah, he's embraced it. 2 losses in 2 years. We'll keep him.
He's a Nick Saban disciple, and they seem to be doing pretty well for themselves when they break off and kind of do their own thing. Fellas, final question. I'm just curious to know your predictions as we head into these last couple of weeks. Who do you see in the national championship game? How's it going?
Well, we predicted a very low-scoring Rose Bowl, and we were pretty off on that, so I don't know if you won our predictions. But I do think this is going to be a great game. It's incredibly difficult to beat a team twice. We know this, right? Even though I think we could agree that Indiana maybe is a better football team than Oregon, even by a slight margin, it's very hard to beat a team twice. Dan Lanning's a heck of a coach over there for the Ducks. I think it's going to be low-scoring, maybe 24-21. Coin flip who's going to win that game. I do think we're going to get IU Miami at Hard Rock Stadium for the national championship, and what a scene that would be.
Yeah, that would be awesome, and I kind of agree with that too. I'm going to take IU in Miami, but in this game, I'm going to go a little higher scoring. I'm going to go 38-28 IU. And that's the thing, as you mentioned, Dan Lanning and this Oregon team has been licking their beak to get back to this game and playing the Hoosiers ever since this bracket came out. It's here now. It's the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Going to be a blast Friday night.
Dom, Eli, it is great seeing both of you. Thank you so much for your time. And, hey, be sure to enjoy Atlanta. And I got to say, a lot of people here jumping on the bandwagon, and for good reason, with Indiana.
All right, we love to hear it. Thanks for having us.
All right, take care, fellas. Thanks.